There's a saying that if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Works well for Fast and Furious movies, and it's exactly the same here with Call of Duty. If you've played Modern Warfare in 2007 or my personal favourite World at War in 2008, then you've played Call of Duty Vanguard. And I think those games might be better than this one. Now, for the first time on my channel, and who knows if I'll do it again, I'm taking a look at a Call of Duty game, mainly because I love World at War, but also because this is the year where both Call of Duty and Battlefield release, and it's time to take a look to see which one is better. Call of Duty Vanguard is the latest entry in the yearly release in the franchise, with this year's entry being done by Sledgehammer Games, and the 5th entry set during World War II. While it certainly won't be the last set during World War II, it doesn't feel like a World War II shooter. There's a campaign here on top of the copy and paste multiplayer mode, and maybe it's me really disliking Call of Duty, but Vanguard just isn't good. Let's quickly go through the campaign, which is the mode say 70% of fans won't touch, which, hey, it's fine, I get it. You buy Call of Duty games for the multiplayer like I buy Formula 1 games to race in a car I'm physically too fat to get inside of. Oh, I'll be doing that as soon as my tax return hits. Good man. My chair just fell. Now, before I start, I honestly couldn't finish the campaign. It's only about 5 hours-ish long, apparently, but Call of Duty campaigns to me don't feel like proper campaigns, but more like linear on-rail shooters, where, yeah, sure, there are areas where you can explore and tackle missions in different directions, but there are moments where you can't progress until the AI blows something up, or gets killed by a hidden sniper. You can't open the doors unless the AI tells you to, or until they do it for you. The story tries to have a bit of a Suicide Squad or Expendables vibe to it by having an allied special forces unit take on Nazis, with each member of the team specialising in certain areas. There's Arthur Kingsley, the leader of the squad, and these gameplay mechanics for the story mode at least let him command squad members, and it feels like shit and a bit pointless. There's the American Wade Jackson, who's a fighter pilot, and his first mission is a dogfight mission at Midway, and buying a Call of Duty game to play dogfight levels is like buying a coffee machine that can also make toast. There's Lucas Riggs, an Australian played by Rainbow Six Siege's Mozzie the Aussie, who's got an accent as thick as Homer Simpson's skull when he starts boxing.
Why, I could wallop you all day with this surgical 2x4 without ever knocking you down. But I have other appointments.
Probably the best character and who they should have stuck with for the entire campaign is a Russian sniper, Paulina, who's not only the daughter of Mr. Dickovich from Spider-Man,
And don't try to sneak past me. I have ears like a cat and eyes like a rodent.
no, not that daughter,
Hi, Pete.
but her levels are a bit of fun, and I cared about her story, at least until I played as Wade Jackson, got over the campaign, and flat stopped fucking playing it. The story is basically like that crap Birds of Prey film. No, the Aussie doesn't eat a diamond, but it's a game where the story flops through time. You'll start as a member of the Special Forces unit and on a Nazi train before getting captured and interrogated by an evil hobbit.
What's that? This, my friend, is a pint.
Then you'll basically play key moments of each team member's lives and why they're in the team and trying to stop, basically, Hitler's successor. Now, it wouldn't be a Call of Duty though without its popular multiplayer. This is the bread and butter of the series, and probably why you might pick it up. Now, I will say, Call of Duty does have its ups. It's an easily accessible game. Whether you've played older entries in the series and haven't played it for a while, the gunsmith and perks and stuff take a little bit to get used to, but its core gameplay is still the same. I got Black Ops Cold War this year for my birthday as two mates wanted to play with them and have a bit of beers and chat shit and all that sort of stuff while in lockdown, and it works for that. It's also completely crossplay with all consoles and PC, which again is something more games need to do. However, Vanguard's multiplayer ain't that great. For starters, Call of Duty Vanguard is a fast-paced multiplayer game pulling from previous Call of Duty games, but it's also not a rifle or sniper rifle friendly game, despite being set in World War II. Most maps are medium-sized at best, where previously in World at War, there have been some great larger maps, allowing snipers to find a nice spot and simply camp. While yes, camping can be infuriating, if you're a sniper it's kind of a given, rather than 2 or 3 friends with SMGs just camping a doorway from multiple angles. Speaking of which, there are levels here in Vanguard where the enemy team can basically lock your team into spawning into one room or area, and just wait for you to walk through a doorway or lob grenades in, continuously taking you out over and over again. Speaking of grenades, there are explosions here that sometimes just don't make sense or work. Don't get me started on how respawns work too. So many times I've died and for whatever fucking reason, the game has spawned me in front of multiple enemy team players, and it's like playing the damn Waterworld arcade game.
Game over. Please deposit 40 quarters.
What a rip!
Vanguard's weapons here, while great in regards to, well, yes, they're World War II weapons, and I personally like World War II themed based shooters, but there's the gunsmith attachment system here where you can add red dot sights, hollow sights, and even hybrid sights to a scope and a red dot attached at the same time.
What the hell is that? Isn't it cool? No, it's not cool.
There's even the ability to use the RC car from previous Call of Duty games, but it's World War II themed. It's a small, mini remote-controlled tank that has an explosive in it. Who in their right fucking mind thought this was a good idea? Yes, there are some traditional World War II based kill streaks like the dogs and spy planes, but then there's basically smart missiles that again have been just copied from previous Call of Duty games where you control the bomb as they fall. It could have been really cool to have some creative kill streaks that fit with the setting of World War II, but again, like Call of Duty every year, it is a copy and paste of the last year's game with a new skin over the top.
She is better than ever!
Wait, don't be fooled. She's just a regular Malibu Stacy with a stupid cheap hat. She still embodies all the awful stereotypes she did before.
But she's got a new hat.
Destructible environments have been added to the game, and thankfully it's not an attempt at copying Battlefield's environments, but more of like a checkbox. If there's glass windows or exposed wooden walls or doors, you can simply shoot through them or smash through them. These I don't mind, to be honest, as they can open up some vantage points and expose players that are hiding in that one spot. After each round of multiplayer too though, like in Overwatch, there is a play of the game, and then each team votes on an MVP, where you'll see the animation of a player doing something cool and edgy like headbutting an enemy who's wearing a helmet.
Way to go, Dad. Take those punches.
Unfortunately, you can't skip this portion of the post-game content, and even if the entire team has voted on the MVP, you still have to wait for the timer to reach 0 to go back to the lobby. Now, it's also worth noting, I played this on an Xbox Series X with both the campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. I was experiencing some frame rate drops and graphical clipping and bugs. Finally, with multiplayer, you're not playing as forces. You're not the allied forces against Axis, but you're red team and blue team, where just players pick whatever operator they want to play as. You're not actually playing as an army. Zombies is also back, and I haven't played COD Zombies since the original Black Ops, and it's fine. It's pretty basic where, unlike just surviving until you die, you can extract and survive rather than just dying out. But it's the same and a little different, where you do missions where you're teleported to a zombie-style version of a campaign or multiplayer map where you'll need to survive until a small extraction appears, or follow a floating skull around until it reaches the end of the map, and just rinse, repeat. Surprisingly though, I enjoyed Zombies for what it was, and I had more fun with this than I did with Back 4 Blood. I think though this Call of Duty shouldn't have been released, and we could have gone a year without a new COD. The game hasn't really changed since the original Modern Warfare, and the menus are still the same from 2019's Modern Warfare. Vanguard doesn't even feel like a World War II shooter, it's just like Aliens Fireteam Elite. It's got a World War II skin over the top of it. Now, I didn't play the beta, but from what I understand, there was a blinding muzzle flash when firing a gun and hard recoils because they're World War II weapons, and they removed them because people complained. Dude, this is a World War II shooter. Either stick with the fucking theme, or don't do World War II. Now, what could have been cool and explained red dot sights on an MP40 and a mini tank that looked like a toy that a kid would play with in their backyard is set it in a what-if version of World War II. Do what Inglourious Basterds did and change history. Take inspiration from Wolfenstein and create new and unique weapons that you've never seen before, and then style it however the fuck you want. There was a game called Turning Point Fall of Liberty that did a what if Winston Churchill died from being hit by a cab in New York in 1931 and died instead of surviving, and without his leadership the UK crumbles and Germany attacks New York. Say what you will about that game, but the what if premise was pretty cool. From there you could have had different weapons or stylings or different environments like US forces fighting German forces in a battlefield-torn Central Park. There are so many cool ideas that could have been done here, but instead it's a Control-C, Control-V game that has no originality, or it has no identity as well until it's forgotten about until next year's game comes out. To quote Dame Lewis Hamilton,
"Cash is king. Cash is king."
See, I did say that.
cash is king, and that's the point here with Call of Duty. Activision want you to spend $100 for Call of Duty and then $20 to $30 for a seasoned battle pass. Then if you want more skins for your weapons, they want more of your money. Then it offers you selling you weapon blueprints, which you can buy and use before you unlock the fucking weapon itself. People were complaining that you could buy weapons in Battlefront when it originally released, giving players more of a head start, and people who had more money had more of an advantage over normal players. Where here in Vanguard, you can buy better versions of the standard weapons with heaps of stupid fucking attachments with real world money, and people aren't complaining. It's even a giant slap in the face when you boot up Vanguard and you see 3 separate Call of Duty games and Warzone on the same menu. Vanguard isn't a game, it's a $100 theme skin over the top of last year's game. Now sure, if you're a mad Call of Duty fan, then yeah, you'll probably like what Vanguard has and you're probably hating me right now. And like I said earlier, COD works really well for a yearly release for you and a group of mates to just chat shit and have a couple of beers, and it's accessible for players of nearly any skill level. It's not like Rainbow Six Siege where it requires players to get good, but it is a simple pick up and play shooter. Graphically, yeah, it looks good, and when you get some close range kills with shotguns, limbs explode, which is much better than simply just falling over. But for me, is it an entertaining game? Not at all. It's not that I don't like first person shooters or multiplayer games, but it's more the fact that as a general customer, you've spent $100 and downloaded probably a fairly large version of the same game of last year with a World War II skin over the top. Now, time will tell if Battlefield 2042 blows Vanguard out of the water, and from playing that beta, I think it will, but it's too early to tell.